Alright, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing Minecraft sword enchantments, so we're just ranking these 10, which are all enchantments that you can put on swords. If you want, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to post more videos ranking the enchantments for other items in other videos. But first off, we'll start off with Bane of Arthropods. So Bane of Arthropods has 5 levels, and each level increases the damage you do to spiders,
Spiders?
cave spiders, bees, silverfish, and endermites by 1.5 or 2.5 damage each level. But
Oh, damn.
honestly, I really don't. A base, by the way, a netherite sword is 8 damage. So with Bane of Arthropods 5, it does 20.5 damage. That being said, does anything like, when are you ever worried if you have a netherite sword? When are you ever worried, or even if you just have enchantments at all? When are you ever worried about spiders, bro, and endermites, and like
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie
cave
about
spiders and
yeah.
bees and silverfish, bro?
Once you get an iron sword, you don't really have to actually like see spiders as anywhere near a threat.
Literally. And you also can't get sharpness or smite if you have Bane of Arthropods. So I'd
I was
probably
gonna say because it's mutually exclusive for one of the important enchantments, and it's yeah, bro. If you
yeah
pick this over sharpness, you actually
yeah
like
I'd probably put it in D. Is that fair to say?
yeah, because it's also like because the thing is half the time spiders don't even target you every single time they're in your range, so you can just get the first hit on them, and
Yeah,
then
they
once they
only
target you, you already have another one on them, and if you crit both of them, they're probably already dead if you have a good enough sword.
yeah. Like, and even with sharpness, I'm pretty sure with max sharpness on a netherite sword, you can one shot spiders anyway.
Oh, dope.
So, all right, Curse of Vanishing. Obviously,
F
this one,
F. You literally like it doesn't help you in the slightest. It's just when
yeah,
you die.
die you lose it. It's pretty horrible. The next one's Fire Aspect. It has 2 levels and it each burns for different amounts of damage. The other main benefit of this one is it drops automatically cooked food if you kill animals with it, which is really useful.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say fire aspect two at least, or just fire aspect in its essence. I would put it at least A, but I would probably put it as S, just because it was one of the earlier enchantments that I saw, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think I would probably lean just towards A because there are more useful enchantments for swords. If you could only have one enchantment on a sword, I don't think you would pick Fire Aspect, you know?
Fire aspect would be probably a top three candidate.
We'll we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
But if there's only 10 enchantments and there's 6 tiers, a top 3 can't, like, the third place shouldn't be an S in my opinion. And I think
that's
there's 2
valid.
other things that are better, and we'll get to those when we get there.
Yeah, I think I know which two you're talking about.
All right, looting increases drop rates of all things. So you get a lot higher chance of getting wither skeleton heads, and also like I think the other thing that people a lot of times use it for are blaze rods and ender pearls. And
I was gonna say
you can get up to 3 ender pearls when you kill an enderman with looting, which is really
that's
good.
major. That is great. Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, like, cause it. If you're in the overworld, looting's low key so boring because well you get like an additional string when you kill a spider. Like
Yeah.
woohoo, that's going straight out of my inventory once I find a fire.
I think the other things it's good for is if you have looting and fire aspect, you can get like crazy amounts of cooked food.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
you can also with looting, you can like it boosts your chance of getting a wither skeleton skull from 1% to 4% with looting 3. So that's pretty major as well if you're trying to fight the wither.
Mhm.
I think it's A but below fire aspect in my opinion.
That's good. That's good.
All right, mending. Everybody
Mending
knows
is
what
S.
mending is.
Everybody, yeah. That's when you said that there were two other ones that you saw that were better than fire aspect. Mending was the first one that I thought of.
Yeah. And then there's sharpness. And honestly,
Sharp-
I low key would put
Doesn't
sharpness
sharpness
above
only
mending.
boost it up? Oh,
Sharpness
okay,
boosts all your
okay,
damage, and if you have
yeah.
sharpness 5, it boosts from 8 to 11. So that's like, what, a 30% increase in damage? Or more than 30%. Like, that's major. That is major.
I would say like sharp. Yeah, the higher sharpness levels is when I start to put it above mending. But like maybe sharpness one or two, I'd put mending above it. But
Well,
sharpness
yeah.
overall,
No, but
probably.
sharpness, I'd say is better than mending, in my opinion. Especially because if you have especially with a diamond sword, bro, you could just put it in an anvil and throw a couple diamonds on it and repair your thing all the way straight away. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. That's true. That's true. You can't do anything without like you can't just make your sword hit harder if you don't have sharpness.
True. Smite. Okay, so what smite does is smite increases your damage heavily, same as Bane of Arthropods, so you can get way more damage than Sharpness 5, but it only works on zombies, skeletons, and other undead mobs. So drowned, and it actually works on the Wither as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty tough. I mean I've never really used smite. I don't.
I would say Sharpness is better. I'd probably put it in B because it does have its uses. If you're fighting the Wither, Smite 5 is significantly better than Sharpness. So yeah, I think it has its uses, so it's at least B and not D like Bane of Arthropods, but it's not useful most times. Most times you'd probably rather have Sharpness.
Mhm. Unbreaking is great. That's one of the other ones that I was thinking of. That you might think is better than fire aspect.
No, bruh. Unbreaking is like B. I I think it's probably better than Smite, but it's really not that insane. Unbreaking at 1, Unbreaking 1 gives double durability, Unbreaking 2 gives triple durability, and Unbreaking 3 gives quadruple durability, which is good, but like again, like what I was saying with the diamonds, you can just throw diamonds on it and get it back up extremely quickly, and if you have mending, then Unbreaking is useless. So, because you're already going to have full durability all the time anyway. So, I think again it has its uses and it's like pretty decent, but and it's obviously has a benefit, but I don't really think it's that like meaningful. It's not something that you need to have on your sword because if you have mending, you like literally don't need it. You know, but knockback. So knockback boosts knockback obviously when you hit things. At level 1, it's double knockback, and at tier 2, it's triple knockback on things. So, some ways it can be good. Obviously, getting mobs away from you. I'd say it's an inherent benefit, but it is sometimes annoying when you knock back skeletons and then they can hit you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, skeleton knockback is kind of to the opposite of your advantages because they can still hit you, but you have to run to them and you have to dodge their arrow or use a shield.
Yeah.
And yeah, knockback is normally best in like PvP.
Or melee mobs. It is good against melee mobs because if you're fighting like a big horde and then you could just knock back some of them, then you can like it's easier to take less damage in a fight like that, in my opinion.
True.
Because
True.
if you get the first hit, then they can't straight away. There's no trading hits with knockback. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is sweeping edge. So sweeping edge, when you do a critical hit and it has a little sweep effect, and you can hit multiple things at once, it goes from tier 1 to 3, it does 50%, 67%, and 75% additional damage on that sweeping attack to hit multiple things. I think there's no real negative to placing it. It's not incompatible with any other enchantment. So it's just like good. Like it's useful. There's really no downsides. I'd probably honestly put it above Smite. There's no downsides, and it'll just like do more damage sometimes. Because Smite has downsides. Because Smite you can't put with sharpness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was about to say sweeping edge isn't mutually exclusive with any other enchantment, which is a huge green flag.
Yeah. Here's our tier list. If you have any points of contention, drop them down below in the comments. And thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.